Alright. Welcome back, all you wonderful, magnificent, fantastic people. Welcome back to another really cool, really awesome, exciting episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2 with yours truly, Tiny Town Gaming. Alright. So, now that we got that out of the way, today we got an interesting video. Wasn't going to post this until I finished up the game, but because I'm part of the Facebook group, I noticed a lot of people having issues. Now, I have some very helpful tips that should help with a lot of these issues. Now, I've learned through experience. Now, what I just did there is I removed our small amenities, or our amenities here, so we can start fresh and I can show you. So, tip number 1. Everybody has an issue with shops. Either not being able to feed enough of their guests, or not making money off them, so on and so forth. So what we're doing here is we are putting in some small shops, because this is how you would do it when you're first starting off. So let's get that built up quickly, and we can get on to the next part here. So once you get your small shops built, you'll notice that it's still not feeding everybody around. And what I was doing, and what a lot of people I've noticed are doing, is they'll go toss in a couple more small shops. Now, whoops, wrong button. When you go put another couple shops in, say up here, because that's where it's needing the food, all that is doing is it's pulling people from these to feed these. You're paying to have the extra shop there, but you're not making any extra money. It is a very, very big waste, and your parks will fail because of it. I have lost and had to restart multiple times. So, my suggestion, and what works for me, as you can see, this park is doing extremely well, aside from the fact that with recording here for the how-to, I've kind of let it slip and slide. But anywho, so we got rid of our smalls. The best thing you want to do, don't waste your money on putting in a bunch of shops that are going to cost you more money than they make you. Upgrade as fast as you can to get to the large or mediums, and we're going to toss those in, and once they're built, we will take a little look-see. And as you notice with the smalls, there was still a lot of radius around them that was not being fed. So let's go back in here. We'll give it a pause actually. And now when you click on our food shop here, or this is the drink, whichever, it is fully feeding that entire area now. As well as our food shop here and our shopping. So just by putting in a larger shop, we are now making a lot more money, and it's not costing us any more money aside from, the slight increase in building. Whereas if you were to throw in 3 extra buildings here, you still have to pay for those buildings, and they're not making you much money because they're now taking from these. So this can save you and make you a lot of money. Now, on here, I'll show you, I'll have to fix those ones, but we'll come over here, and we'll take a little look. See, these are the large ones I have in going right now, and I'm making 75,000, 77,000, 43,000. So just by putting in large rather than a couple more smalls, I am making a lot of money. Now this park is huge. I mean, there's a lot going on in here aside from the shit going wrong. But upgrading your shops rather than adding more is tip number 1, and that will save you and make you a lot of money. Now, tip number 2, and one of the things I've noticed is killing almost everybody's parks, is storms. Now this is in my top 10 tips on how to make money and not go bankrupt, but I'm going to throw it in here because it is very, very handy. Storms will ruin your park. They will destroy it. The only thing I can suggest for those is save very often, and if a storm hits, reload that save. The storms are just like everything else. They're like diseases, which you can do the same thing for actually. If you get something like rabies and you don't have a vaccine, reload that save, and it has a chance to come in random again. Now, it won't always. You might have to reload a couple times to get that, but I have saved myself from a tornado ruining my park to a rainstorm multiple times. It is so handy. That is one of the best tips I can throw out there for storms. Aside from that, always pause as soon as you find out one's coming and open that shelter and get those guests in there, because if you start getting guests hurting and damaged and whatnot, you lose money. You don't want that. So, tip number 3 is dino raiding. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you come in here to your hatching bay, up there on the top right under the name of the dino, it has an appeal rating. The Apatosaur, for instance, 200 on appeal. Now when you start off this challenge mode, this is Germany and hard. you get Struthiomimus. So I had a whole pen full of them. Now, a pen full of them at appeal 14 is nothing. Nobody cares. They are not going to come to your park much for a Struthiomimus pack. However, if you have one Apatosaur that's bringing you in 200 appeal, you're going to make a lot of money. A lot of people want to come to the park to see that. So tip number 3 would be get rid of those weaker dinos, the less rated dinos like I've been doing here, the Muttaburrasaurus, Struthiomimus, and start putting in other stuff. The Crichtonosaurus here, for instance, appeal of 119. So I replaced my Muttaburrasaurus here, I think, with Chasmosaurus or something here. So I went from a lower rating to a higher rating, and that in turn brings more guests into your park, which in turn brings in more income, which in turn brings up your rating. Look at that. It's like dominoes. Now, it works extremely well. Pay attention to that. That will actually go into tip number 4, which is visibility. If you have the best park in the world, you can have all the dinos you want in here. Nobody cares if they can't see your dinos. So, for instance, let's go over here. This is a pen I kept for this specific purpose. This had about 20-25 dinos in it. It was doing great until they started dying off, and I have to put new ones in. So, now, nobody cares about this attraction. They don't care that there's still a couple in there because they can't see them. If you do not have visibility for your dinos, nobody will use those attractions, which means they're not eating around there or drinking. They're not bringing you money. So that can make or break a park drastically. So as you'll notice here, I have got multiple viewing stations on a small pen. I mean, you don't need that many, but the more you have, the more they want to be there. So this one here, a lot of these are on ones that are dying. But anyways, so this one here is bringing lots of guests. I mean, if you get your visibility, let's go up to visibility here. We want, right there. Almost every single part of my park is covered in visibility, which is making me a lot of money because they can go anywhere in the park and see dinos. So keep your dinos visible, especially those high rated ones, and you will make a lot of money, which will get your rating up there really good. The last tip I can give you, which I have learned the hard way multiple times, do not waste money. For instance, like these, don't throw in extra shops if you don't need extra shops, just upgrade. Don't upgrade your scientists if you don't need to upgrade your scientists, because for instance, they're going to cost you a fortune. Go away, I'm trying to talk. All these are a bad example because I'm pretty late in the game here. It's almost complete, but anyways, we'll go in here. As you can see, these are all costing 40, 24, 52,000 a minute. If we go in here and train this person up, for instance, she goes from 16,000 up to 25,000. So I only train these people when I absolutely need them. If I need more in logistics, I'll pop some into logistics. If I don't, I'm not wasting money on it because you now have to pay that person way more money for every minute that passes in the game, even if you're not using them. So only do it when you need to. Same with hiring scientists. Let's go in here. We're going to get rid of any of these because I'm just going to reload my save later anyways. So, fire. Pay attention to this. This is another thing. When you come in here to hire your scientists, if you're hiring scientists before you need them, this guy over here, for instance, $608,000 you're paying this guy just to get him into your park, even if you're not using him. And then on top of that, you're paying him $30,000 a minute. So, you can bankrupt yourself so quickly by buying scientists that you don't need. Only buy them when you need to, upgrade them when you need to. Research is probably the best thing for you. It'll get you the upgrades that let you train them rather than hire new ones, and it's very handy. So, those are my top tips. There's 5 of them. I was going to do it later on, but I figured, you know what? A lot of people are having trouble. Maybe this can help. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, hit that sub button, tell your friends, share it around, all that cool shit. Most importantly, hopefully you're all staying awesome, being kind to one another, being kind to yourselves, and I'll see each and every one of you guys here real soon.